Great dreams aren't just visions. They're visions coupled to strategies for making them real. I have the incredible good fortune to work at a moonshot factory. At X, formerly called Google X, you'll find an aerospace engineer working alongside a fashion designer and former military ops commanders brainstorming with laser experts. We use the word moonshots to remind us to keep our visions big, to keep dreaming. And we use the word factory to remind ourselves that we want to have concrete visions, concrete plans to make them real. But I have a secret for you. The moonshot factory is a messy place. But rather than avoid the mess, pretend it's not there, we've tried to make that our strength. We spend most of our time breaking things and trying to prove that we're wrong. That's it. That's the secret. Run at all the hardest parts of the problem first. Get excited and cheer, hey, how are we going to kill our project today? We allow our unchecked optimism to fuel our visions. But then we also harness enthusiastic skepticism to breathe life, breathe reality into those visions. These tight feedback loops of making mistakes and learning and new designs. We can't spend $200 million to get the first data point about whether we're on the right track or not. If there's an Achilles heel in one of our projects, we want to know it now, up front, not way down the road. Discovering a major flaw in a project doesn't always mean that it ends the project. Sometimes it actually gets us onto a more productive path. This is our fully self-driving vehicle prototype, which we built without a steering wheel or brake pedal. But that wasn't actually our goal when we started. With 1.2 million people dying on the roads globally every year, building a car that drives itself was a natural moonshot to take. 3.5 years ago, when we had these Lexus retrofitted self-driving cars in testing, they were doing so well, we gave them out to other Googlers to find out what they thought of the experience. And what we discovered was that our plan to have the cars do almost all the driving and just hand over to the users in case of emergency was a really bad plan. It wasn't safe because the users didn't do their job. They didn't stay alert in case the car needed to hand control back to them. This was a major crisis for the team. It sent them back to the drawing board. And they came up with a beautiful new perspective. Aim for a car where you're truly a passenger. You tell the car where you want to go, you push a button, and it takes you from point A to point B by itself. We're really grateful that we had this insight as early on in the project as we did, and it's shaped everything we've done since then. The cars team shifted their perspective. This is one of X's mantras. Sometimes shifting your perspective is more powerful than being smart. Probably the craziest sounding project we have is Project Loon. We're trying to make balloon-powered internet. It turns out the stratosphere has winds that are going in quite different speeds and directions in thin strata. So we hoped that using smart algorithms and wind data from around the world, the idea is to have enough balloons so as one balloon floats out of your area, there's another balloon ready to float into place, handing off the internet connection, just like your phone hands off between cell towers as you drive down the freeway. We get how crazy that vision sounds. It's the name of the project to remind us of that. So since 2012, the Loon team has prioritized the work that seems the most difficult and so the most likely to kill their project. We made round, silvery balloons. We made giant pillow-shaped balloons. We made balloons the size of a blue whale. We busted a lot of balloons. Since one of the things that was most likely to kill the Loon project was whether we could guide the balloons through the sky, One of our most important experiments was putting a balloon inside a balloon. So there are two compartments here, one with air and then one with helium. The balloon pumps air in to make itself heavier, or lets air out to make it lighter. And these weight changes allow it to rise or fall, and that simple movement of the balloon is its steering mechanism. We have lots more to do in terms of fine-tuning the system and reducing costs. But last year, a balloon built inexpensively went around the world 19 times over 187 days. So we're going to keep going. We're in discussions with telcos around the world, and we're going to fly over places like Indonesia for real service testing this year. This probably all sounds too good to be true. And you're right. Being audacious and working on big, risky things makes people inherently uncomfortable. You cannot yell at people and force them to fail fast. People resist. They worry. What will happen to me if I fail? Will people laugh at me? Will I be fired? The only way to get people to work on big, risky things, audacious ideas, and have them run at all the hardest parts of the problem first is if you make that the path of least resistance for them. We work hard at X to make it safe to fail. Teams kill their ideas as soon as the evidence is on the table because they're rewarded for it. They get applause from their peers, hugs and high fives from their manager, me in particular. They get promoted for it. We have bonused every single person on teams that ended their projects, from teams as small as 2 to teams of more than 30. We believe in dreams at the Moonshot Factory. But enthusiastic skepticism is not the enemy of boundless optimism. It's optimism's perfect partner. It unlocks the potential in every idea.